What's up, real world climbers? We are back with a video here. This video is a little bit different. We're actually going back in time to last spring when I was out in Nevada and when I was checking out the 18-foot home wall of a new buddy of mine named Logan. If you haven't already seen the tour of his wall, I'll put the link to that video up here as well as in the description below. Check it out. It's pretty epic. It's 18 feet tall with 2 auto belays. It was awesome. After we got done with the tour of his wall, he asked me to set a route on his wall. So while setting that route, I actually shared with him some concepts and some thought process and some little tips and tricks about route setting that I think will help him for the future. So it's pretty conversational and I think it's a good learning opportunity. And so I think the thought process will help not only Logan, but maybe even you. So enjoy. "18-foot home wall."
So, how do you set routes?
My two tendencies are to find a line that inspires me. So I want to start here and kind of make this shape with the body movement, and then I'll find holds that match that inspiration, or I'll find a hold that inspires me, or a couple holds that inspire me, and say, well, I want to find fun moves that work into this hold or out of this hold. But this will be a unique way to set on this wall because, I mean, you have so much vertical gain. You said that's about 20 degrees and this is about 15 degrees?
Yeah.
So I just went shopping in some of his hold collection, which I'll feature here as well, but I picked out 3 holds that kind of have an idea for a certain movement, and it won't be the whole route obviously, but we'll try and see if I can make a certain movement here. So my idea is we're going to find a spot where we can use this as a hand first, and then eventually we'll get to it with our foot, but I want to have it be so that you use this as a knee bar, so your toes in here, and you're using a knee bar here to get something higher than you would just be able to get.
Yeah, I haven't set a knee bar yet.
So I have to make sure, because I have to make sure you can't just jump from that hold to the next hold. So we'll have to find some bad feet underneath that too. All right, check out this hold, you guys. These are how unique some of these holds are. This is kind of old school technique, but there were some awesome holds back in the day that had your regular hole here, and then this adjustable hole here. So you can have 2 bolts, but you don't have to be limited on where, because eventually you'll hit a T-nut with this one. So that's a pretty cool holder.
Fit it perfect.
All the same size. Tougher.
What?
One-handed.
Yeah, I bet. Like I said, let me know if you need a hand.
I do need a hand. No, I need 2 hands. So I have this in the right area here, but now I gotta take this slot here and find a T-nut somewhere here. Look at that. Breaking the wall the first day here. Don't tell Logan, he's not listening right now. I'm giving him a sloper here. Well, I think, when you're setting for yourself, you find yourself setting the same moves because you're like, oh, I feel like I want to go this way, so you go this way. And then what you really have to do is you really have to fight that. Like, I want to go here, or I really want a foot here, so don't put the foot there.
Yeah.
Like give yourself a foot, but it's not there.
Not there, yeah.
Make it so it's off balance or something like that. Or like it'd be really great if I had, you know, a crimp here, but because I'm good at crimps. Well, maybe I should put a pinch there instead or whatever. So I set kind of the middle here, two-handed Waco here, and then this is like basically a sloper edge kind of, but it's diagonal down, so it's not really usable much for a hand. So there's gonna be this press down here on the sloper, and then you get your knee bar in here, and then you go up to this. Really, the way it's oriented is basically a pocket that you'll eventually match inside of. So that's kind of this middle section. It may end up being like a crux section even, but now we have to figure out the bottom and the top. And you do sit starts, right?
Oh yeah. Or not. Whatever you want.
You gotta get every inch out of this 18 feet.
I like how you set the middle of the route first.
So yeah, or sometimes, I mean, you just mix it up. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I really want this to be the end move, so you can set from the top and work your way down.
Yeah. I've always sat from bottom up.
Yeah.
So I'll have to try that.
Right now, I'm kind of setting in my mind, but you're right. Like, if I was doing this myself, I would feel every hold, and I'd be like. So now I got a couple footholds. I got a starting hold here. That's a two-handed kind of pockets. And then what I want him to do is I want him to go up to this side pole here. So it's kind of like a crossover to get into that stuff we already talked about. So now I have to figure out how I'm gonna get out of this. And my initial thought is he'll have a right hand in the bottom part of this pocket, and then this whole C shape here is all like basically a pocket. So theoretically, he would have right hand in the bottom part of the pocket, and he could come in almost like a lie back on the other part of the pocket with his foot down here. So how would I get out of that lie back? You know, where do I want to go next? So that's what I got to figure out next. Taking one right up one from there. Yeah, if that will work. So see if we can fit it in there.
Looks like it.
Yeah. So I think the bottom will definitely be harder than the top, but the top will be hard because you've done hard moves at the bottom.
I'm gonna be tired.
So that's maybe a route. We'll see. And obviously some tweaks can happen. I can't forerun it, so Logan has to forerun it. So we might need another foothold. I think adding a feet hold is no problem. Maybe we put a foothold in here. Maybe we make this better. So
I'm okay with it not being able to.
But maybe here,
climb it.
let's say this white one is on. Actually, that feels pretty good. So here and here, like a pull, but like let's say this white one is on for
Yeah.
a foot too. So you get to this, bam. This is gonna be a foothold here. This will then, and so what you have to do is you have to get up into this and probably switch here, right?
Yeah,
So
right
now-
hand across.
So now you're there, right? And you gotta get up.
That's okay.
So you can be down pushing
Yeah,
here.
you can get your chest high enough so you can climb.
So like, yeah, so like this foot might already be coming up while you're here, right?
Yeah.
And then potentially you could use this, or you can keep your hand here.
I want to see if I can even get a knee bar on.
Yeah, I can power saw you. You don't let me touch your bum.
No, I don't care. Well, I'm just gonna probably cheat.
Yeah, just grab it in there until you can do that. So like lean now and see if you can touch that. Down one.
That's the kicker. See, I don't know if I can. I mean, I can.
So, one thing with route setting is a move might be able to be done multiple ways, right? So what we're discussing is if we give a good, I mean this is a jog, but if we do it as an undercling where you can get your knee bar in and not fall over, yes, could you theoretically just kind of double undercling this and skip the move? Maybe you could, but is it harder to do it that way than the intended sequence?
Yeah.
And so if doing it a different way makes it harder, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because the intended sequence would be like
Easier.
the easier way. So there's moves that are breakable, but they could be harder.
Yeah.
I mean, that still might be a fun move though, honestly. you could make it be dynamic too. And
It's gonna, yeah.
there you go. Get your foot up there. Yep.
Ooh.
So you kind of want I see, so your hand wants to be where your knee wants to be, huh?
Yeah, let's see.
Thanks so much for making it to the end of the video. I know this is a little bit unorthodox. If you are liking what you're seeing on real world climbing, I would love it if you join the community by clipping the chains on the subscribe button. Make sure to check out this video right here, which is the tour of Logan's wall. See you soon.